Yo, guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of the Altcoin Bosses. My name is Tino. Welcome to Traders Reality. Let's have a conversation, guys. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 4 coins in particular: GALA, Sand, ALGO, and Mana. Now, the reason we're going to talk about these coins is because they are the only ones right now that are actually showing decent strength in their price action. As you can see across the whole watch list that we've got on the Altcoin Bosses, these 4 coins seem to be doing really well. Now, what I'm going to be doing is diving into the book map of each of these coins to understand where the orders are sitting right now in the order book, which we can then come to an understanding that what are the chances of them actually hitting those orders. All right, this is what the purpose of the order book is to help you understand where liquidity is sitting in the chart. Now, a little bit of a breakdown with the book map itself. On the right side of this white line, as you can see right here, these are orders that are coming into the order book and have yet to be filled. All right. The ones on the left side are the ones that are sitting in the order book. They've been actively filled. OK, and they are live. Right now, all you can see right here is this is a candlestick, which I can change the time frame for it as candlesticks, 15-minute time frame, job done. Okay, so this is the 15-minute time frame and the amount of orders that are coming in at this point in time of this 15-minute candle for Mana. All right, so what I'm going to do is going to bring up the chart for Mana and we're going to dive into what's going on. See, now if you've been watching the Altcoin Bosses itself, the videos, we've been expecting this behavior to follow through with Mana. Okay, why? Because I'm expecting them to come back up towards the previous wick in the chart. That's what I want from Mana. Why? Because this is an imbalance in the order book itself. So there are orders still stacked in this area. And the market maker is naturally going to come back up and recover those points because these are the zones that he went short from. Okay. And at the same time, he started going long. He's now realizing those longs by bringing price back up. Now, this is on the daily time frame. If you go and watch the Altcoin Bosses playlist itself in the channel, you'll see the conversation that we've had with regards to these coins that we're talking about. All right. And you'll see how the moves play out. And the thing is with those videos is it's going to help you understand what we were looking for at that point in time and what was bringing our attention to believing that price was going to favor another move to the upside. Okay. So Mana on the daily doing pretty well, although it's pulling quite back. I mean, it's hit the range daily high and it's pulled back. If we look at the 1 hour time frame itself, you can see it's hit the range daily high, and we always expect price to pull away from that zone. At the same time, you know that the blue vector candle that has appeared at the highest point in the chart is an implication that volume is starting to rise, or at the same time, is it starting to slow down? All right. Now, looking at the book map itself, if I zoom out on the book map, I can see where the liquidity is currently stacked for Mana. Now, it would appear that at the $3.50 mark itself, there is a lot of liquidity added. You see that there? It changed color. The darker the color, the more liquidity. All right. But the idea is that, are they going to send price back down to this zone, okay, to trigger the same support and the same amount of orders to come at that point, which by principle would move price back up again? Okay. Now, we do go into more detail about the book map in other videos in the channel. I did it earlier on today in the stream. Okay. But just as an overview, the idea of this book map is to help you understand where liquidity is coming into the chart before it gets filled. And based on price action itself, we can try and understand what are they likely to do. You see, if you notice at the $3.50 mark down here, all right, you can see that there is a lot of liquidity in this zone. You've got the previous green vector candle right here. You've got the blue vector right here. And if you dive into the actual time frame itself, you'll see on the smaller time frames that there is a plethora of liquidity that they can come back to. You can see the green zone right here, the green zone right here as well. If I zoom in, you can see one zone right there at 355. You've got this area right here which doesn't have any liquidity on it, but if I do actually drop down to the lower time frames, you're going to start seeing more. So there's the $3.50 right there, lots of blue liquidity right there. So that could imply that price is going to come back down to that point in the chart, given that we've actually had a massive move to the upside and hit the range daily high. So Mana has exceeded its range or average daily journey that it takes in price, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. So they've made their moves to the upside. Now they're pulling it back to bring it back into the fray, which happens to be in the same consolidation zone that they were in a few hours ago. Okay. That's Mana for you. Next one is GALA. So I'm going to bring GALA up. We'll pull up GALA in the chart. Here we go. This coin was an absolute monster yesterday. 138% gain to the upside. What a wild coin. Now, this is on the 1 minute time frame, and you can see bright as day what's going on. They are coming down and hitting the liquidity pools to the downside, but at the same token, they are now adding more positions for longs being built at lower prices at the highest possible range. All right. So if you actually look at it on the 1 hour time frame, you can see GALA itself is pulling back. It did form an M formation, stopping volume candle, bounced off the retrace towards the 50 EMA. Now it's looking to try and come back down towards the green vector candle. All right. The green vector candle sits in around the range daily high, so it is extended for the session. Bringing up the book map itself, you can see bright as day that we've got orders stacked at the 20. Had it just a moment ago, if you can see there, the $25.85 zone. So 25.80 should be a point in the chart where interest is going to get triggered. So we then look in the chart over here. 25.80 would take us towards this zone right here. Okay, so that is where orders had previously come in. So now those orders are now being presented yet again. So two things that could happen. They could come back up towards this point in the chart, and green vector candles could appear in this zone, which will then set up price to drop down lower again. Okay, because then we would get 3 hits to the high. We could get a head and shoulders pattern forming right like so. What's going on with my speech today, man? I'm speaking too fast. Forgive me. There you go. So this zone, by the principle of the book map, if they come back up towards this area and trigger this pool of liquidity right here, and these orders that are waiting to be sat, all right, that will be the recovery of the red vector candle wick and the recovery of the red vector zone. And then they will be then in a position to either continue from that point and break out and completely annihilate this zone, or actually drop down and hit the 50 EMA with intention. Okay, because they've got a lot of liquidity to come back to, right? Look at that. A lot of support coming in at this point. They'd want to try and grab as much of it as they can. All this here is liquidity that is due to get filled in the chart. Question is, will they hit it? Yeah. Next coin is ALGO. ALGO's doing pretty well. We had some mad move by ALGO earlier on today, guys. If you watch the videos in the altcoin bosses, when we spoke about ALGO, we made a projection of $3, and look how close they got to it, $2.98. Spoke about it earlier on today in the stream, but the importance of this actual movement was because of this. Look at where they've gone. They went back to the previous pool of liquidity right here that we anticipated. All right. There was a vector candle in this zone. There are wicks in this area that they need to bring price back to. Why? Because it's the imbalance in the chart. So principle would say that they are going to now recover this whole zone. So yeah, ALGO is likely to hit $3. All right. But it's going to take a little bit of time because of the exhaustive move that this has happened. Looking on the book map itself, you can see not many orders stacked up in this zone. They are all concentrated down here. That's where the imbalance is. Look at the imbalance of the book. The book itself is showing an imbalance favoring limit buys. They are accumulating loads of it at the lows. So this is making up of longs and shorts being played off in the chart. Market maker is inducing traders to go short, and he's building his longs at the lowest possible point, which you can see right here. He's building positions continuously. All right. Zooming out just a little bit more. If I can get any more traction to this, let me just open the chart. All the liquidity is concentrated in this zone right here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so nothing up here yet. And until they come away from this zone right here, we will then understand where they are likely to move from. All right, because the move itself has been somewhat exhaustive. It's been a throw off in the chart. All right, because there was orders being stacked up in this range, and they fulfilled those orders, and then they pulled it straight back. So every order that got filled here, liquidated. So it's very unfortunate for those guys in ALGO. All right, pulling up sand. Let's have a look at sand. Where is sand? I had sand here a moment ago. Here we go. All right, so sand doing fantastic. All right, making good ground to the upside. If you can see, at all-time highs, made a move down to the 50 EMA. All right, as you can see, we were waiting for that move. There's a W formation on the smaller time frame, so drop down to the 1 hour time frame. You can see we played off that W formation. They made the move higher. They come back down. They brought it all the way back down to this point here, and they kept within the peak formation. That was the peak formation locked. Then they made the move up, retrace, continuation to the upside. Now we're at the range daily high like the other coins that we were just speaking about, and we are now waiting for them to do something. Are they going to hold at the 13 EMA and continue back up and refill this wick up here? or they're going to pull back down and test the 50 EMA because they haven't done so in a little while. Looking at the order book itself for sand, we're going to zoom out again. It does take a little bit of a while because I'm running 4 instances right here. As you can see, as you go smaller into the chart, you can start seeing the liquidity coming into the chart itself. So the best way to use this order book, this book map itself, is when you're watching it, you're starting to see orders coming in and out, taking and closing, opening, closing, cancelling. They're putting orders in and out. Now, this makes up all the liquidation points by principle. The liquidations, the orders, limit buys, limit sells, it factors it all in. All right. Now, what I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to be talking about specific altcoins. All right. Oh, look, there you go. Nice little pump right there in price. I'm going to talk about specific altcoins across all exchanges, or as many exchanges as I can get, because Bitcoin right here is currently on 5 exchanges. I'm getting the volume of 5 exchanges: Kraken, GDAX, FTX, Binance, and Bitstamp. So this gives me more of a conviction on what they're trying to do with Bitcoin across the board and how it's being traded. All right. Now, in relation to sand itself, guys, what we want to be mindful of is as we keep moving up, I just need to get this down. It's not allowing me to go. Here we go. So orders are coming in at the $4.08. We've got $4.09. All right. And it just keeps on taking those orders. The book map is showing an imbalance favoring limit sells. As you can see, it's going to the left, minus 16%, 20%, and volume is rising at the same time as well. So the principle would say that they do want to see the $4.08 moving back up to this zone right here, and hopefully we can get the $4.50. Now, if I can actually get my chart to zoom out, it's not letting me do it, so I'm gonna have a bit of a problem by getting that information over to you, so forgive me for that. Let me just pull up the 1 hour. Let me get the 4-hour candle, see if that makes any sense. Okay, here we go. So now we're starting to see it. So nothing at the $4.10, but there is a $4.95. So just nearby, they're starting to put orders in and around. So you go, see that? $4.09 orders coming in. $4.10, you've got orders starting to come in. But what they're going to be waiting for is trying to encourage as much interest as they can below these points. So you see this point right here? That's where there is interest. So principle would say if price comes back down towards that zone, it's going to trigger more orders in the chart. And if you look, you can see as you go right, you can see that when they brought it down, it's where they bounced away from it. So they're going to keep testing these zones up until they get towards these fills in the order book itself. Now, I am quite new to order book, but I've been studying it. I'm trying to understand how to translate this information. It is pretty fast, but it's a good indication to see where orders are coming in and out of the chart itself. And you're going to be able to work out exactly how to gauge a movement from one point to the next. You can see, look, orders that were here now being filled. Price comes down. Look, order came straight in there at the anticipation that if it does decide to come back down to that point, it should bounce away from that zone. So let's see if that actually happens in this instance, because we've got some quick price action with sand. There it is right there. Nice little move away from that zone. So the supports come in. So that's what we'll look for with the book map itself. All right. So forgive me if I've gone at the speed of light, ladies and gentlemen, but I've got to get this information over to you. I'm going to do one more thing. Have a look at the Metaverse coins themselves just to see what's performing well across the board there. Mbox is doing some absolute mad movement to the upside. Okay, something must be happening with that coin. They've done a nice pump up. And as you can see, they've recovered the previous zones of liquidity right here. Complete sharp move up. And again, they've done the same thing right here. Looking at Remark itself, Remark has done also very well, but we've now got a big M formation. I was waiting for $40 from Remark to come back up to recover this previous zone, but they got to 37. So that's not that good. I was hoping it was going to move up a little bit higher. Alice is doing okay. All right, we've been waiting for Alice to break out of the zone. They formed the stopping volume candle right here, came back down, recovered 50% of the zone, shifted out, retraced, continuation back up, hitting the range daily high. All right, so that is where we are right now. We could see a retrace or just a simple continuation back up whilst they range out price in this zone. Okay, other than that, guys, I'm going to love you, leave you. Mad love and respect to all of you. If you are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the stream tonight. Take care of yourselves, guys. Peace.